Athlone won their only men's senior cup on St Patrick's Day 1924 when they defeated Fortsons of Cork 1-0 in a final in Ringmahon Park. That's the basic facts, but behind that is a very interesting story. Athlone joined the League of Ireland in 1922-23. They were the only club from outside Dublin involved at the time, and they actually played a key role in spreading the game outside Dublin. But as the only club from outside Dublin, they obviously had a lot more difficult travel arrangements than the other clubs. So the league was never really the priority. The cup provided a more realistic route to silverware. So in their second season in the cup, in 23-24, Athlone played Midland Athletic, a then League of Ireland club, in the opening round, winning 2-0. They went on to play Shelbourne, who were then had just been pipped for the league title by Bohemians that season, and they were one of the two pillars of the game. Athlone beat Shelbourne in Shelbourne, 2-0 in the quarter-final, to line up a semi-final against the other great pillar of Dublin football, Bohemians. That game was played also in Shelbourne Park, semi-final ending 0-0 and necessitating a replay, which Athlone won 2-0 again. That led them to the final against Fortsons, which they won 1-0 with a goal by Dennis Hannon. Dennis was a very interesting character, I suppose a legend of the game. He had played for Bohemians as far back as 1907, had won the Irish Cup with Bohemians in 1908, making him one of those rare players to win both the Irish Cup and the FAI Cup as it's now known. He was also an Irish international, both pre the split and post the split, and captained the first Irish soccer team in the Olympic Games. Dennis was an Athlone man, a solicitor, and somebody who was involved at Athlone Town on a committee level for many, many years after his retirement. One of the proud claims to fame of that team is that 9 of the 11 were from Westmeath. Only 2 were from outside Athlone, one from Sligo, John Joe Dykes, who actually was working in Athlone in or around that time, and the other a Dubliner, the goalkeeper, called Paddy O'Reilly. So it makes it all the more meaningful, I suppose, for local people that it was effectively a local team that made history for the club. Athlone won the League of Ireland twice in the 1980s and also famously played AC Milan in St Mel's Park in 1975. But this was their first trophy, and it was 60 odd years before another trophy arrived here. So it does have a special place, particularly when it hasn't been achieved again in the intervening 100 years. Of course, Athlone Town women won the Women's FAI Cup last season, so there has been cup silverware brought back to Athlone in one way or the other since. But it's special to the people of Athlone. The fact that the football is retained here in the Athlone Castle Museum is evidence of that. The fact that so many of the local families are still around, whose ancestors played in that game or in that campaign, is another factor. You know, it probably doesn't get the recognition it deserves. So the fact that this is the centenary does allow us to profile those people once again, to remind people of the achievements, and to highlight the sporting heritage that's here in the town, particularly due to the fact that 9 of the 11 players were from this area, this district. The women have given the people of Athlone a taste of cup success. The men's team reached the cup semi-final 2021, I think. So, you know, it doesn't take much to get a good cup run together. You just need the balls to fall in your place in terms of both the draw and during the games themselves. But who knows, with a favourable draw and the win behind your backs, a cup final is something that all teams in the draw dream of, whether they're non-league or League of Ireland.